Hey guys, DB right here, and today I'm continuing with What If Sailor Moon was in Dragon Ball Z. Now, how did you guys enjoy the surprise appearance of Sailor Pluto in the last part? She wasn't one of the Sailor Guardians sucked into the time rift at the beginning of this story. Well, it's time to explain that little tremor we felt earlier before the Ginyu Force showed up and Freeza showed up on the planet. That tremor is a sign that both Sailor Moon's universe and Dragon Ball universe is starting to become one. And because of that, Sailor Pluto was able to finally travel between the two universes, since the gateway is pretty much that weak, that she was able to jump in and interfere in the battle on the Ginyu Force. I didn't mention it that time around because I wanted to keep that a surprise. I wanted to get you guys guessing. So, with that, shall we continue? With the Ginyu Force out of the way, it is now the battle between our heroes and Lord Freeza. And well, what is starting off to be pretty, rough start for the heroes, because remember, Frieza's already in his final form. Frieza's having the time of his life, just sort of playing with all his new play toys. I have to commend you for defeating my Ginyu Force, but don't think for 1 second you can best me. Now at this point, Sailor Pluto is pretty badly injured for what Vegeta did to her after, Ginyu Force did the body snatching with her in an attempt to steal Pluto's abilities to freeze time after she killed Gildo. Well, on a positive note is Dende is healing her, no problem, and pretty much healing everyone else who ends up getting sidelined by Freeza. But don't worry, they are about to take advantage of a serious tactical weakness in Freeza when Sailor Mercury charges up one of her attacks. Bubble spray, creating a mist which makes everyone else invisible to Freeza. Remember, Freeza can't sense energy, so he's just firing blindly, hoping to hit someone, and the Dragon team, as well as the Sailor Guardians, realize he can't sense where they are, and so every single one of them power up an attack and team up with a combined blast. Kamehameha, Moon Tiara, action! Mercury Aqua Illusion! I forget most of the name of Jupiter's attacks. Mars Fire Mandala! Crescent Beam! Well, so pretty much granted, that's pretty much a lot of power that Freeza has just been hit with. Plus, you do got Goku there as well, who threw a Kamehameha into his face. So, Freeza is more or less having to sort of withdraw, get away from the mist, and make everyone sort of come to him, which does sort of work. He does manage to get himself the upper hand again. And, Vegeta and Goku come in for a bit of a Saiyan teamwork offense, even though Frieza's pretty much dodging them and they're pretty much hitting each other, which is pretty hilarious. Like one of those Whis sparring matches from Dragon Ball Super. Damn it, Kakarot, even now you gotta get a shot in! It's not my fault, he kept moving! Frieza knocking them both to the ground and doing serious damage to both of them. Remember, Goku's not as strong as he is, at least at this point, from when he battles Frieza in the original timeline. However, with this next healing session from Dende, it's definitely about to become that way. And well, with Pluto now regaining her strength, Frieza does see that Dende is healing the warriors and does try to kill Dende with a death beam. However, thanks to Sailor Pluto and her ability to stop time, the good guys are able to get him out of the way long before the blast is able to reach him, and they set him off somewhere in the distance where he can stay safe and just out of the way. If things get really bad, he can heal them if he absolutely has to. And well, needless to say, this is getting very frustrating for Freeza, because that time skip ability is just pretty much beyond a joke. And damn it, even if I power up to maximum, I'm not going to be able to stand up to that. And too right he is. Sailor Saturn suddenly appears before Freeza, and Freeza attempts to hit her with a very powerful ki blast, but with Sailor Saturn summoning up her power, creating almost like a purple force field, it's able to stop the attack from having its full effect, and Frieza is actually a little bit blinded by his own blast, that Goku and Vegeta are able to get a good hit on Frieza. And, well, they knock Frieza into the ocean, and they're not sensing anything from him at this point, so they actually think they may have actually finished off the Tyrant with that team combo. However, Frieza takes another pot shot unexpectedly and hits Vegeta, essentially killing him. And, well, he's able to capitalize, getting some good hits on Goku. Everyone else is trying to charge in to defend, but Frieza's able basically to fight them off with a flicker of his power. And Goku does try to battle back with the Kaioken, much like he does in the original, but it's looking a lot like it does at this point in the anime, when Frieza's using a bit more of his power and no longer playing, and Goku's getting weakened. And now that he's seen what the Sailor Guardian's tricks are, Frieza's not really falling for him a second time. So it is beginning to look bleak towards our heroes, to the point that Frieza could just pluck any of them off while fighting Goku. While Goku's sort of groveling on the ground there, Frieza is holding up a death beam, pointing it straight at Usagi, ready to finish her off. You know, just for the heck of it, she interfered as well. Let's get rid of her. However, suddenly, something hits Frieza in the hand. There is a red scratch on his hand. What? Who dares do that? There is a rose on the ground. In fact, it's pierced the ground like a dart. He looks up. It is Tuxedo Mask, who is along with Chibiusa, who have also come through the rift. Oh great, more baby seals. But at least this one has a bit of class. You know, just sort of complimenting on the tuxedo. And, well, while Frieza's sort of distracting, monologuing, and after Mamoru's little speech on how this is unforgivable, all that usual stuff he says that's poetic in a way. That's a new one. I'm gonna have to jot that one down too. I must say, you and your girlfriends here are an interesting bunch. But while the distractions been going on, Goku has been secretly powering up a spirit bomb, and this time it is a lot more powerful than the original one from Planet Namek, considering most of the Namekians are alive for starters. And of course, there's all the energy he draws from the surrounding planets as well, including one of the Namekian suns. And of course, you've got the rest of the Dragon team there, along with all the Sailor Guardians, all giving up energy for Goku's Spirit Bomb. And pretty much, essentially, he drops it on Freeza, who didn't even see it coming. He was too busy monologuing. And Freeza is hit by it, and essentially he is supposedly destroyed by it. He is not seen at all for the longest time. Although the damage the heroes have pretty much done to the planet, it's pretty much irreversible. So under King Kai's direction, Kami uses the Earth Dragon Balls to wish everybody off of planet Namek to Earth, except for anyone bad. You know, just in case Frieza was still alive. You know, you don't want to make that mistake just in case. So essentially, the battle is over. They got away from it, but is Frieza actually dead? Well, no. He is pretty banged up and near dead. After all, that Spirit Bomb was a lot more powerful than the original. But he does crawl his way out of the ocean and is breathing there very heavily on a deserted planet until now King Cole comes along and picks up his body. And it is pretty much in a lot of pieces as well. So we're still going to get Mecha Frieza. And, well, in the meantime, the Namekian Dragon Balls are then recycled and reused. Guru passes away like in the original. If you're asking what happened with Nail, yeah, he didn't get to the battlefield in time. He was just transported to Earth. So, I guess there's no Piccolo and Nail fusion at this point. And, well, no, there's not. However, Piccolo and Nail have been hanging out a lot since they've been off training and meditating together. The Nail actually decides when it's time for the Namekians to go, he'd rather stay on Earth. He has more in common with Piccolo, and now that Guru's gone, a new warrior will be selected to protect the next Guardian anyway. So he's served his purpose on Namek, so why not hang out with Piccolo and be his sparring partner? Why not? Dende, being a Namekian child, of course, still had to go home with everyone else. And after Chaozu and Yamcha are brought back with the Namekian Dragon Balls, the Namekians, like I said, get their new home. And yeah. But there was one more wish. They still had to use the Dragon Balls twice. Back on Earth on Namek, because the Sailor Guardians tried to use the Dragon Balls to return to their universe, but the Dragon Erob says, "This cannot be done. Your two universes are slowly becoming one. I cannot reverse that damage." So, at least on a positive side, it would mean that their home is going to become part of this home eventually. So they will be able to sort of return to it eventually. It's just they are a permanent part of the Dragon Ball universe now. The dragon cannot reverse it. At least Shenron can't. And neither can Porunga. Although the Super Dragon Balls, you might be able to give it a shot, but we're not up to that yet, are we? No, we are not. So, with that, everyone's more or less doing their best to make themselves at home. However, there is a new threat coming on the horizon in the form of Garlic Jr. And that is where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this part of the story? Yeah, you might be a little disappointed we didn't get any Super Saiyans at this point in the story. But I think we still found a way to sort of make this sort of fun and enjoyable, and Freeza was battling against overwhelming odds. Anyways, this and more next time as we continue with this incredible crossover What If.